Ooh, that was close. That did not go to plan. Color coordinating. Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I have for you 12 of the best fragrances that you can buy today if you're after compliments or positive attention in general. Niche fragrances and designer fragrances both. We've got some that are really cheap, some that are a little bit more expensive, but nothing crazy. And I'll have each of them, of course, linked in the description below. Before we jump into the fragrances, there is another sale going on right now. It's basically an extension of Cyber Monday. So I'll have a link to that in the description. I know Cyber Monday was a while ago, but that's what's going on. So after the video, feel free to check out that sale. Again, it's linked down there. See if any of the fragrances jump out at you. Any of those prices jump out at you. So in terms of brands, basically some of the most well-known niche brands in the world is what we're talking about as part of this sale. So Parfums de Marly, Nishane, Xerjoff, Creed, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Montal, Mancera. So that's going on right now. And also as part of the sale, it's like free shipping, free 2-day shipping. You spend over 250 bucks. So I have a link to that in the description. If you want to check that sale out, it's from today through tomorrow. All right, let's do this. Let's kick it off. The first fragrance is West Loop. It's my fragrance. Now, could you say that I'm biased? Of course, yeah. Yeah, this one I creatively directed, came out not that long ago, beginning of November. Grab the little box right here, put it right next to there, make it look pretty. Hey! So this fragrance was made with compliments and positive attention very much at the forefront of the fragrance. That and also trying to come up with something that fit in with what's very popular right now in men's fragrances, but doing it in a different way. So it has that warmth to it, that sweetness, but it's not that more typical, caramel toffee kind of thing that you find across lots of different fragrances right now, which frankly does work extremely well for pulling compliments. So nothing against that. I love the way all those fragrances smell. Just, wanted to do something a little different. So got all the notes right here on the back. Almond blossom, toasted cinnamon, vanilla orchid, myrrh, absolute, lavender, tobacco leaf, patchouli, warm amberwood, and tonka. This has great staying power off my skin, really good projection. And it's one of those scents that it fits in, like I said, but does its own thing. So it's really interesting. It gets that attention, but it gives you a unique kind of flair as well. And truth be told, that was not one of the 12. I just wanted to throw it in there. So there's actually gonna be 13 fragrances. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we got Lunar Rosa Carbon. This is from Prada. This smells pretty similar to Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. Anybody that tells you it doesn't is lying to you, but it is done in a very Prada way. So it's not as loud as Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. It's a bit smoother, a little bit cleaner. Got a nice little sweetness to it, a nice little sweet touch. And a lot of people find this more wearable than Sauvage in more situations, again, because it is a little smoother, a little cleaner, a little less aggressive. Performance is nice, not as loud as Sauvage EDT, but that one is a beast. So you don't necessarily always need something quite that loud. And Lunar Rosa Carbon is a certified compliment monster, just like Sauvage. It doesn't maybe, get talked about as much as it did in the couple years after it first came out, but this stuff still works extremely well if you're looking for something that you can wear year-round. Pretty much everybody's gonna love. Now, you remember what I was telling you about that whole toffee, caramel, hazelnut, chestnut kind of thing that's really popular right now? Yeah. So turns out those are, like I said, fantastic for compliments. So gotta put one of those in here. Stronger with You Intensely is what I got right here. Now, realistically, you could roll with Stronger With You, the original. You could roll with Stronger With You Oud, Stronger With You Leather, Stronger With You Absolutely. Those are all going to be fantastic at pulling compliments. So even though Stronger With You Intensely is the one that I'm showing you right here, this is not the end all be all, the number one best. For some people, this is gonna work better than Absolutely. For some people, Absolutely is gonna work better than this. So if you ever have the opportunity, check out the different Stronger With You fragrances, see which one works better for you. They are, in general, pretty similar with some tweaks and changes. They give each one a unique flair, but you can tell that a Stronger With You is a Stronger With You at the end of the day. Stronger With You Intensely, really sweet, really punchy. It's got a lot of projection, lasts a long time, and off my skin, Stronger With You Intensely is the strongest of the Stronger With You lineup, which is saying something because it's a pretty good lineup as far as performance goes. This one is absolutely killer for fall and winter time. Cinnamon, toffee, vanilla, tonka, just an absolutely appealing beast. So Stronger With You, gotta know about it. You gotta know about the whole lineup, really, if you're looking for compliments. All right, let's kick it with a very obvious niche one. Laytone from Parfum de Broly. Yeah, good old Layton. This is the big dog. This is like their #1 seller, most popular fragrance. It's my favorite from the house. Layton just works. It gets the job done, and it smells fantastic. Like at this point, I can comfortably tell you Layton is a fragrance that I will always own. If I somehow threw this into the air, as I do from time to time, and shattered it onto the ground, I would weep for a moment, and then I would get another bottle. For a lot of people, this is gonna be about like the pinnacle of warm, spicy, sexy. Got a fantastic smelling apple in the opening, got some lavender in there, cardamom. As it dries down, this vanilla comes out that really just, takes everything up a level. You have a touch of sandalwood, a little bit of additional spice in there, man. Layton just smells fantastic. If you can, afford it, this is the one to get. If you want to spend less money though, there are some great options out there that are going to get you really, really, really close to this one. So Al Haramain Detour Noir, probably going to be the most popular one, the most popular option. Also from the Woods collection, Dusk, really nice. That one, if you look it up, you want to pick up from a discounter because they do have that available at, I think like Dillard's and maybe Macy's. And if I recall, it's like $160 or $165 for full retail on that. But you can usually pick it up from discounters for like $60 or less, at least assuming it's in stock. Follow that one up with Eros Flame. Yeah, Eros Flame. You have a redhead stepchild in a redhead bottle. We're just a red bottle, there's no hair here. I've been saying it, but they need to come out with a new Eros. I'm waiting, you're waiting, we're all waiting. No G's, no waiting. This very much stands alone in the Eros line. Very out of the pocket there. You got Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Flame. But this is a grower. This grew on me a bunch, and a lot of you as well, because I hear all the time from you guys in emails, in comments on the community tab of how much you like Flame, how well it works for you. And for a bunch of you, this has become like the go-to Eros because it does stick out a little bit more than the Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum. It's got more freshness to it, at least to me. It's not quite as heavy-handed on the sweetness. You got that Kinoto in there that gives it a nice little different touch. Great versatility on this. I mean, you can wear Eros Flame about anywhere. To be fair, Eros in general, really versatile. You can pull that stuff off in the office. I did a bunch. You can, of course, wear it on dates. Wear it to the club, to the bar. Yeah, we know all that, right? But you can realistically pull Eros off in more formal situations. Just don't go crazy heavy with the atomizer and you're good. But Eros Flame, this one right here, it sticks out a little more, I feel like, than the other Eros fragrances. That said, just like with Stronger With You, when it comes to Eros, if we're talking compliments, any of them are gonna work. Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, or this one. And I still hold that Eros Eau de Parfum may be the best overall choice if you're only gonna get one, because it kind of splits the difference between the EDT and the P, and it gives you that original Eros flair. All right, next up is a Michael Malol fragrance that I had nothing to do with. This one is called Amber and Smoke. Of course, keeping in mind that I do work with Michael Malol, I am biased once again. But I think that this is a great release, one of my favorite ones that they've done over the past couple of years. And you gotta love that atomizer, right? That just, woo! So Amber and Smoke, it smells to me like a take on a more masculine Baccarat Rouge 540 to an extent. So when you first spray this one on, you get that sort of saffron opening that's gonna remind you of BR 540 a bit. Then as it dries down, like I said, it takes on more of a masculine scent profile. Hence the name, Amber and Smoke. Get a little bit of that in there. Extremely wearable, really easy to pull off. And Baccarat Rouge 540 is known as being a compliment magnet. I mean, that's why there's like 15,000 different fragrances out there that smell kind of similar to it in one way or another. And this is for sure not a clone of BR 540. It's just that saffron, the way it comes across in the opening. Like I said, it's gonna remind you a little bit of that, the way the sweetness comes across. But the way that this one takes that general idea in the opening and then transforms it into this very easygoing but masculine and classy scent Works really well. So this one right here, easy wearing, smells great, good performance off my skin, and a compliment beast. Just be aware, some of you out there may go nose blind to it. It's one of those type of deals, so spray it on real heavy and you're like, oh, it's not there, oh! And then somebody walks by and they're, how much did you spray on, dude? Live and learn, live and learn. Go Chanel next, Allure Homme Sport. Classic. I know a lot of people would go maybe Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. That one works too. A lot of compliments from that. Original Allure Homme, also a lot of compliments from that. I mean, honestly, pretty much all the Allure fragrances are gonna be pretty good for that. But Allure Homme Sport is, yeah, it's kind of like not sexy anymore to some people, where it's been out for a long while and where it's been popular for so long. You know, it's not the hot new thing anymore, you could say. Not that the original Allure Homme is, but still. It's very fresh, a little bit sweet, similar to Versace Pour Homme and Missoni Wave. Both of those also good choices. This one has a little more of a creaminess to it, some tonka in there that comes out, you know, gives it a nice bit of depth. So out of those three that I just mentioned, this one, Missoni and Versace, I find that this is kind of off my skin the heaviest of the bunch. Not necessarily a bad thing. Actually gives it more versatility for some people. So, you know, while it's an Allure Homme Sport, so you might think of it as like a gym scent or whatever, you could wear this pretty easily in the fall. Honestly, you could wear it in the winter too. I know a lot of people would always go for something like warm and heavy, but as I have said a bunch of times, you know, bust out some of those summertime fragrances in the winter. You'll be surprised at how good they smell. Really obvious one, Cedar Apoisé, Mancera. Really cheap from discounters. You can pick up Mancera Cedar Apoisé, you know, 80 bucks under a lot of times from discounters. So realistically, you know, you're getting into niche fragrances. You never smelled a niche fragrance, never owned a niche fragrance, whatever. Mancera is a good jumping off point because it's cheap. It's real cheap. And that's a barrier to entry for a lot of people because if you don't know, you're gonna like it. You know, like I said, you don't have anything niche. Maybe you're like me. Nowhere around here has anything niche to smell in a small little city. So yeah, it's difficult sometimes. You can order a bunch of samples and stuff, but a lot of people don't like to do that. And so when they start jumping into niche, like I said, Mancera, easy jumping off point, because sometimes you can get these for like 60, 70 bucks. I mean, really that's designer prices at that point, but you're getting a nice niche quality fragrance. And also 120 ml bottle size doesn't hurt either. Get a little extra bang for your buck. Great performance, a lot to like here. So this one has been likened to Creed Aventus. It's, you know, it doesn't really smell like Aventus, but it's kind of in that overall family. Nice fruity opening there, really fruity, good sweetness. Got some leather in there as it dries down. Super versatile, people love it, lasts forever, projects heavily, a lot to like about it. After that, Gentleman, Eau de Toilette. That made me think of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Gentlemen! Gotta be at least like two of you out there who know. Like showing my age a little bit there, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's not been a thing for a while. So Gentleman Eau de Toilette, you know, it didn't really get all that love that came to the fragrances after it, like Gentleman Eau de Parfum and all the other flankers. And you can kind of get why, because it is very much made to be that type of fragrance that's easily approachable. You know, it's not trying to do something crazy that's never been done before, but it does make it really nice for compliments. I'll tell you that much. Opening is really appealing. It's got pear in there. That's gonna be the main fruit that you pick up in the open, pear. You know, a little touch of pineapple in there, but that's not really what you're gonna be drawn to. And then of course, iris. Good amount of iris, lavender. It's a nice fresh iris. It doesn't go too far toward that makeup-y side of things. It's more like a blue iris, right? Like it's trying to give you that blue fragrance versatility, usability, but with iris at the forefront. And it is a scent profile that I think the more you wear it, as long as you don't mind the sweetness that it has, this stuff has a lot of usability. It's that type of scent that, especially now, you know, it's gonna smell a bit more unique versus a bunch of things out there and just really get the job done. Expensive again. Imagination from Louis Vuitton. Now, these fragrances, the Louis Vuittons, pretty difficult to ever find discounted, so that's unfortunate. At least if you're looking for a deal, that's unfortunate. So what do you get here? Well, you get citrus, good amount of citrus, very high quality citrus as well. Neroli, ginger, it's lively, it's bright, fresh, zingy, clean. You have tea that comes in there, you know, gives you this little touch on the tip of your your nose. It's just extremely well done, smells amazing. Once again, if you're looking for something cheaper than this, that smells similar to this, Zara has a pretty good alternative that they put out this year. It's called Sunrise on the Red Sand Dunes, and that one I think is actually pretty well done. They also have an alternative to Angel Share, which I'm not in love with, but the alternative to Imagination I think is overall better. So this one right here, spring and summertime during the day, absolute standout. Okay, up next, Scandal from Jean Paul Gaultier. Yeah, Scandal hits really hard. Like this is one of those fragrances that sometimes feels like it floats under the radar a little bit, just as far as how the compliment factor of the whole thing goes. Because you've got stuff like The Most Wanted, which is extremely good at pulling compliments, or the Stronger With You line, stuff like that. And Scandal is not really far removed from those. It's not like a drastically different fragrance style, but it doesn't get talked about, at least as far as I've seen. Maybe it does in some places, but it doesn't get talked about quite as much as those fragrances as far as like compliment factor goes. So as I said, kind of in that style of those other scents, it does have caramel, a good amount of caramel, and tonka also. A little mandarin orange off the top, but that's not really a focal point. And then some vetiver as it dries down, kind of like a little woodiness that sits underneath that caramel and tonka. It's extremely solid, really nice performance, and it's a scent that by and large, every time that I've worn, people have seemed to love. So Scandal, I put this one up there with those big dogs. Just doesn't quite have the same cachet, feels like. Oh, and then we got this guy. Oh, Ralph's Club. So Ralph's Club, done by the same perfumer that did YSL Eau de Parfum, Dominique Ropillon. And, a little bit in that style. Not as sweet as Eau de Parfum. A little classier, I would say. More of an aromatic lean to this one. So it's got lavender in there. It's one of the main notes. Also has clary sage. Then you just have some woody notes underneath. Cedar, vetiver. So it's got a really simple note breakdown, for better or worse. But it does come across very modern. Like I said, classy. Enough sweetness that it gets people's attention. Extremely versatile. I mean, you can wear this to the office, to work, and then out to a bar, club, date afterwards, and it's gonna just flow seamlessly. I think the presentation looks good. I think it smells good. When it came out, it did get hated on as being whatever, boring or generic or, the typical stuff. Do I think that it is non-offensive? Yes. Do I think that generally people really like it? Yes. Does it have some similarities to Eau de Parfum or Le Parfum? Yes. But at the end of the day, if you're shopping for Ralph's Club, you're looking for something that people are going to like, that you can wear anywhere. And it does that really well. So, am I gonna hate on it for that? No, especially not when, I smell it at the end of the day and think, yeah, it's really easy going, easy to like. It's kind of like, I don't know, a simple but good cheese pizza, Somebody can come in and be like, oh, you're eating this pizza, you're enjoying this cheese pizza. This is crap. Come over here and have this artisanal pizza with, all of these hand-picked ingredients and this and that and the other thing. And it's like, that's cool, that looks good too. But sometimes I want a slice of cheese pizza. Give me the cheese. All right, last up, Coach Platinum. Nice affordable one here to end everything on. So this one has black pepper, it has cashmere, has vanilla in here as well. A little bit of leather also, and it's drawn some comparisons to Pure Sauvage, which Lunar Rosa Carbon over here also has drawn those comparisons. I will say between the two, the Lunar Rosa Carbon is closer to what Sauvage does overall. This one has a little bit of that fuzziness to it, that kind of what people would say metallic feel from Sauvage, but not quite as close. Really nice open to this one. The pineapple is fresh and fruity, not super duper sweet, but you get enough of a tang to it that it makes it interesting. And then as it dries, the vanilla kind of takes on a little bit of a creamy feel to it. There's also sandalwood in here, so that helps. And it's a nice mixture of like casual, sexy, easygoing, but then at the same time, very modern. So Coach Platinum, really good pickup on the cheap. It doesn't get as much hype as the original Coach for Men, which is the most popular from the line, but that one's pretty good too. Definitely worth checking out. All right, there we go, guys. Here we go, just a big old line of fragrances in front of me here. These are some of the best compliment pullers you can get. Shouldn't put the box there. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See y'all later.